DVC here. I am showing you these things. So, navynexus released a video about something called the boat puller, or the entity magnet. And as he showed in his video, it breaks after you relog. So it's clearly broken. The boats, they're not doing the thing. Neither of them. So I wanted to look through builders and see what their results were. So JD Headstrong, YouTuber, showed that, or told me, told navynexus in the public comments that if you use honey blocks, there's a way to make it save over relog. Unfortunately, I have to keep pushing the boats into place, so I'm not entirely sure how they did it. Samify lol showed in the same comment section that you can use bubble columns to pull the boats down, and it continues working after relog. Very nice. Very nice. Void Redstone showed in his own video that if you replace the block here with a trapdoor, then it works just as intended. However, you do need an extra block of space in order to make it work. And before I started doing more testing, I'm like, you know what, this is pretty good. This works out pretty well, and I think that's where I'll leave it. But I was wrong. You see, because I also decided to test this little guy. So this is my own creation, and it pulls you up. If I can be under... Oh gosh, that... I completely messed it up. Let me do that. And then push it into place. Hopefully it still works. Oh geez. And you see, it pulls me up. That's very nice. This here shows that if you have an item, it has to be one block below for it to get pulled up. So, not particularly useful for moving items around. Boats, if they are 1.5 blocks below, or 1 and a little bit less than half, no, 1 and a little bit more than half blocks below, it will be pulled up. Unfortunately, I can't seem to find any use for this. It's just useless. So, but I realized when I designed this, I used a trapdoor just like Void Redstone did, and I had these rails or glass panes, and I realized, hey, this stays upon relogging. So what if the answer to this isn't to put it into a solid block, but to simply put it into the sticky piston and make sure it doesn't come out? So I tried it. After a couple iterations, I've come up with 2 designs. I haven't looked into which one is more resource heavy, but it's pretty it's pretty similar. You got 1 trapdoor or 3 trapdoors, fences and gates, or just gates, and then at the front you have chains. Now I have tried panes, that rhymes. I've tried fences, and this is the way to get it most compact, to make the boats move the least, given the hitbox of a boat. So this will continue to work upon relog, and so will this. Even though it looks like the boats will come out, they will not come out. And that was my goal here. So if I push, and I push, and I push, they won't come out. And in order to figure all this out, I actually had to look into all the hitboxes. So this world was originally for testing horses. Unfortunately, I blew up a horse. More on that later. So there was Max and Mini. And Max was the maxed out horse. And the maxed out horse was able to jump all the way, how high? To 5.8125 blocks, which is equivalent to right here. So the horse can jump up 5 blocks and then on top of a end portal frame. And the shortest horse, or the mini horse, the minimum stats of the horse, is 1.3125 blocks, which is this right here. So the horse can jump up here, but it cannot jump up here. So I was doing all this testing, and it seems like I've come all the way back around, and I've been doing not only the vertical distances between blocks, but now the horizontal ones. Now, for this testing, I only really cared about from a full block. So a full block is 1 block. Duh. A chest or ender chest is 0.97. Cacti, full cakes or honey blocks are 0.94, etc. And a chain is 0.59. Now I've tried fences, or sorry, gates, and they do not work. But look, 0.3 meters is what it takes to get the correct dimensions for the boat to not come out. I think that's pretty cool, and it's the only block of this dimension. There are a couple lonely dimensions, like the 1 eaten cake, the 3 eaten cake, I think it says, or 5, 6, 7, yeah, 5 eaten cake. But what I thought was interesting was that the ladder, although appearing much thinner, is actually thicker than doors. It's pretty weird. Like I can't move forward, back, forward, back, forward. So I did all that testing, and it turns out that this is the best block to use. Glass panes don't work because they have to connect to something. Cakes don't work in all directions, and railings have the same problem. And then brewing stands, their hitbox is too small, just like glass panes. So that's how I got this to work. And these can be vertical, but then the boats will come out, so they cannot be vertical. So that's everything, except that it isn't, because when you test, whoops, when you test the order that these things take blocks, you get some really interesting behavior. So if I have a boat and a player, it'll take the boat. Now, of course, the boat's kind of interfering with the other one, so ta-da! If I have a item and a player, it will take the item. So it seems to prefer boats over items and items over players. I haven't tried this with other mobs, because I realized, hey, what happens if I place these blocks in this order? It doesn't matter how far away they are from the piston or from the boats, it's the order that they're dropped in. So the first one that gets pulled in is the red one. And in this case, the orange one... the heck? This is not what the testing showed. Why are you contradicting me? Okay, red should go first. Yes, it does. Anything else? No. Okay. I don't know why the orange went in. That's weird. That might be an inconsistency. But the next one to get in is purple. And then blue. And then green. And then yellow. And then finally orange. So the order is the oldest block, then the newest block, the next newest block, the next, the next, the next. So this can be used for item sorters, by taking into account that the first thing you drop is the oldest, and then every subsequent block is going to be the newest block that gets dropped. If you just drop a single block at a time, obviously it's always going to be the oldest block. But if you're going to shoot out multiple different blocks, and of course this works for entire stacks, then you have to take into account that... what the heck just happened? Okay, that's weird. You have to take into account that after the first block, all subsequent blocks to be picked up will be the newest block, which can lead to item despawning if you have messed up timing. Now, there's one other thing that I wanted to look at, and I kind of forget what it is. We talked about how this only really works for entities, and it's kind of useless. We talked about how this sign is 3 by 3 and by 2, and doesn't break upon reload. It's just perfectly fine. I believe that's unique among these designs. So this one's 3 by 4 by 3. This one is 3 by 1, 1, 2, 3. 3 by 3 by 3. This one is probably 3 by 3 by 3 if I can figure out how this works. And the original is 3 by 3 by 2. So, or 3 by 2 by 3. However you want to call it, it's the same dimensions as what I've discovered right here. This one is going to be a little larger because obviously you need slabs or something underneath. But apart from that, everything is good. And all that stalling has not reminded me of what I actually wanted to showcase. I will sign out, and I will show you that this works upon relogging for those who don't believe. Also, this should give me time to think about what I've done, which is to say, of what the heck I wanted to say. Let me use my thoughts for a while, and you can look at these wonderful words on the screen. Okay, now that everything is loaded up, we see that this continues to function as intended. This continues to work as intended. This one continues to work badly, but as intended. This, okay, you know what I need to do? I need to get a solid block. Alrighty, now we're in business. Okay, this one continues to work. Obviously, Void Redstone showed in video. Samuel, I have to congratulate you. You, Samifilol, you presented this idea, and I don't think anyone responded to you, but it's a pretty good first responder, first solution to this problem, and it works. It's not as small as it could be, but I just have to congratulate you on the sheer speed with which you responded, and that's just keep doing that. JD Headstrong, I don't know how to recreate your thing. I really don't. And then obviously these have stopped working. Now, is there anything else? Nothing that I can think of. I have been doing some other redstone work with logic gates and stuff. That's what all of this is about. T flip-flops of all different sorts. This one I found online. It's kind of silly, but it works. It uses an RS NOR latch. This one, I discovered that you can put a chest in front of the DC dispensers to make it quieter, and also prevent items from shooting out. Had no idea. Thanks, internet. And then this one is a circuitous T flip-flop. Yeah, it's old school, and yeah, that's really all there is to say on the matter. Oh, also, just to show you how fast the maxed out force is, that's not bad. I've heard that you can fix, increase the speed even more by giving them splash potions of speed. So that's something I want to try out. But I just realized what I was going to say earlier. Let's see if I can just... Okay. I just wanted to organize my inventory. So, I saw a couple comments suggesting a couple things that you could try. For example, having a full block or a slab in front of the sticky piston or regular piston. It does not work. I've seen someone ask, oh, what happens if you have two of these pulling an item? It's random. So this one will pull, and this one will pull randomly. There's no pattern. It doesn't matter how far away you are. as long as you're not too far away, because these do have pretty short range. I haven't tested exactly how far it can reach, but it's around 2.5 blocks. And it looks like this is coming out, but it's not. I can assure you that this will not come out. It looks like it is, and actually it might be. But now I'm actually curious. Does this one actually pop out? I think it's popping out. And you can see it's only getting stopped by this block. So it would seem that this is inferior to this, because this actually has guardrails to protect it from leaving in the corners. So I guess this is the one you want to build. So I'm just going to quickly show how to build this for those of you who want to know. You know, it's a good trait, knowing things. And the boat. Alrighty. So here is how you build this. I'm going to build it over here. So you need a solid block where you want your chain to go. And it can go really in either direction. You can spin this however you want. So let's do that, actually. Whoa! What the heck? I'm going to leave the world because I have no idea what just happened. That has never happened to me before. What? Well, I'm sorry that you had to wait even longer to see how to build the thing. Jeez. How rude. Well, at least you can see some helpful game tips. And I'm taking the opportunity to take off my jacket because it's getting a little hot, even though it's snowing outside. It's pretty nice. Loading. And we're good. Alrighty, that was really weird. So, you need a solid block on either of the corners of where you want to build it, so the other chain will go right here. You want a sticky piston here, and you want fences in these corners here. A trapdoor open here, and gates on either side. Then you want a solid block, and you can activate this really however you want. But I like having the piston here because it just looks nice like that. So then you have to get the corner of the block. It doesn't really matter how you're oriented, but in the corner of the block, just place those two boats and push it so that it's in. And then the last thing you need to do is get the chain here, and that's it. That's literally it. Both boats should stay in, so if I try pushing this all the way forward, you'll see that it will not go any more forward because of these chains. And then you have to have this open upon relogging, and I'm not going to relog now just because that would be a waste of your time. But yeah, the only real issue with this design is that it does limit how far you're pulled forward, but I don't think it should matter for... Okay, so it may matter to you. So the other designs may be more helpful if you want to get something into a hole, an entity into a hole, like a mob. But it should work... Yeah, it works fine for items. So for item storage and organization, this is perfect. This works just fine, and it should not break on relog. If it does, let me know, and I can look into what caused that. But other than that, I think that's really all there is to say on the matter. There is a little bit of testing that I want to do with upwards-facing pistons, but I doubt that they'll be particularly useful. Maybe underwater? But at that point, the boats might just float up upon relog, so you'd have to deal with other issues. That, and I think that's it. I really like the fact that we can put chain sideways now. It's really nice. Unfortunately, these don't connect to lanterns, which I think is really dumb. Like, what is this? And you can also not put lanterns on top, which is kind of silly. Also kind of silly is the fact that the conduit, the Steve head or any other mob head, and the dragon head all have the same hitbox. That's weird. It also has the same hitbox as a sideways bell or any wall pillar thing. I also just wanted to show you the transition between each block. Unfortunately, you can't see it here because the, it's kind of in the way. And then the thinnest is inside of a cauldron. So, yeah, a lot of testing, a lot of experiments, a lot of building. Well, not a lot of building, but I did take it apart a couple times. Oh, that's right. The thing I wanted to say originally, I kept moving over to here because I wanted to see if you could use anything else other than boats. And from my testing, the answer is no. I've tried with minecarts, I've tried with end crystals, which is what caused the death of poor Minnie. Rip. And I highly doubt you could even get mobs to be stuck in the piston in order to push them around. So, it seems like boats are the way to go about doing this. This does not work with any other entities that I can think of. I've looked through this creative screen so many times to find out, oh, is there anything else? But now that I think about it, I didn't try armor stands. It's the one thing I did not try. So let's quickly try that. I think if I... Okay, cool. If I try pushing that, it'll end up pushing... Yeah. And if I do this, it'll... That's not an armor stand. If I do this... Yeah, okay. And if I... Ooh, right. That is probably the solution right there. Let me... That's... Oh, you can just do that. Okay, yeah, that. Okay. And let's just... Oh. Just kind of have them at different rotations and whatnot. Just to see if that does anything. Oh, right. Still need this. And then... No, that's not what I wanted. Although... Jeez. So a problem that I was having with the end crystals is that when you flick this lever, they all get shot out. So... Yeah. You see? That's exactly what happens here. So, that's really everything. Type armor stand. I always forget this at the end. Oh, I didn't... So, that's an armor stand. If I do... That's the armor stand, and then the armor stand is a mannequin. Just to differentiate. Sorry for spending so long doing this. I don't have a way of editing, unfortunately. And this is like the third or fourth time I've tried making this video, so I hope you liked it. I hope you can make use of this, or that this was at least entertaining. Let me know, either way, if you think that I'm really boring, or that I need to change things, do let me know that. I'm always looking to improve my redstone, my YouTubing, everything. So, if you have any corrections for me, go ahead and give them to me, as I accept those with open arms. I don't know, that just kind of sounded weird. But anyway, that's really all there is to say on the matter. Have a good night. Control-Alt-T.